Syria has accused the US, France and their allies in the Arab world of sabotaging peace efforts by supporting rebels with arms, money and mercenaries. The country's foreign minister delivered a fiery speech on the final day of the UN General Assembly. Meanwhile, claims are emerging that some of the Western-backed rebels who also have the support of Israel might try to target Jews if they manage to topple President Assad. Let's talk to the man who's uncovered evidence of these plans, journalist Kapil Komaredi. He joins us now from London. Thanks very much for taking the time. This is a really interesting line we're getting here. So little is known about many of these rebel factions and who they actually are. What light can you shed then on this, and how did you come by this information, sir?
Oh, I interviewed a group of rebels in Damascus who were holed up in various parts of Damascus in various suburbs. I interviewed them, and some of them, a few of them who traveled from Afghanistan, said that they had a big fight against the Jews ahead of them. And this is familiar to me because I've also met people elsewhere, particularly in Pakistan, who say that they have a fight with the Jews ahead of them. So they see that as the ultimate destination. But I don't know if this is a view shared by all the rebels who are fighting the Assad government, but there are some who certainly see this as a sort of stopover in the journey to the final destination.
And do you have any other evidence, apart from the views of the rebel fighters you spoke to? Are there any other indications Israel might be facing a more dangerous enemy?
Well, one of the things that was particularly disturbing to me is how Manaf Klaus is being groomed as a possible replacement for Assad. Not a lot of people know that Manaf Klaus's father, Mustafa Klaus, is a first-rate anti-Semite. He's written a book called The Matzah of the Zion, which talks about the blood libel. And he was smuggled out, Manaf Klaus was smuggled out of the country by French spies. He keeps making trips to Saudi Arabia, but not a lot of people know this history behind Manaf Klaus, and people should be wary of Manaf Klaus being groomed as a possible replacement.
In your view, how we've reached this stage where what was once, on the face of it, just an anti-government, pro-democracy movement has now become something mixed in with and perhaps taken over by jihadists and radicals? How's it happened?
There are two things. First is that what began as a peaceful revolution, the government didn't really respond peacefully initially, but as early as May of 2011, the American ambassador to Syria informed his colleagues and his counterparts in Syria that Al-Qaeda had penetrated the Syrian opposition. There's certainly evidence of interference from Saudi Arabia, Qatar and Turkey. So there's a lot of the regional elements pumping money, pumping arms into this conflict. And the consequence of that, and also the regime's unwillingness to renounce peace, to renounce peaceful means to arriving at a solution, all of these put together have brought us here.
I mean, still Israel and its allies in the West are sympathetic to the opposition, despite the warning signs you're picking up on. Do you think they're aware of this risk of religious persecution, very possibly also to Alawites and Christians, if the regime's toppled? And if so, why is it being ignored, I wonder?
That's ironic. I think many people in the West are aware of this, and they're wary of interfering straight away, intervening, which is why America hasn't yet intervened in the way that it did in Libya, in the way that it did elsewhere. I think the irony of supporting rebels who may eventually become great enemies of the West is something that's lost on the very eager interventionists who are pushing the West to intervene in Syria, to arm the opposition. I don't think listening to these enthusiastic interventionists is going to result in peace. I think the solution is political. I think it will come by pushing the government, the Assad regime, and the opposition forces to go to the negotiating table and to work out a peace deal. I think arming one group over the other will yield a messy situation.
All right, thanks for your thoughts and being on the line with us tonight. Journalist Kapil Komaredi, live from London.
Thank you.